Hi guys, I'm here with our client Oleg, who has recently just finished a science fiction novel with us. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, about Oleg's experiences, and and kind of take it from there. So Oleg, just to start off with, tell us a bit about yourself. Whereabouts are you based?
So I'm based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, United States. Yeah, I decided to write this book several years ago. It was quite an interesting story. So there was a time when we were actually, yeah, I don't know if you remember, before
Mm,
the digital era, we
mm.
used to read the newspapers.
Yeah.
So one of the newspapers, I've seen an article and
Mm.
it talks about Roswell incident and how there is one survivor.
So you took that idea of the Roswell crash, and so the book is telling the story of Cree,
Right.
who is an alien who is the one survivor of that crash, and he's setting out across the desert
So
to
yeah,
try to get to a rescue point, right? While at the same time, slowly the government starts to realize that there was a survivor of the crash, and then Kree has to stay a step ahead of all of the people that are wanting to capture him or stand in his way or exploit him.
and then I met one of my friends from my work, and she said she's writing a book. And then also, wow, she kind of gave me an inspiration to do it myself.
Nice.
But I didn't have no information. It was just me, and I have nobody to. So I was just writing. And when you write when you by yourself, you have no feedback. You write in kind of like a
Yeah.
cubicle. You don't know how good you are. You don't know if anything needs to be improved. If
Yeah.
there is if you're doing something good or bad. And I will start doing my search, and this is how I came to write your first novel group. And I thought to
Ah,
myself, wow, this is what I need. I'm writing my first novel,
yeah.
and this is how I came to the group. And then I met you, Max, and then
Yeah.
we had an interview, and we discussed this book. And you said, "Well, I think we can work together on this project."
Yeah.
So at that time when I met you, I was thinking probably I'm not too good. I had a lot of self doubts. So who I am to write a book. My
Yeah.
writing wasn't that great. I have a lot of grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, and it was just I didn't believe that can be done. But you told me that anyone can learn the craft. You just
Sure.
have to put the hard work. And I decided to take a chance and do it.
Yeah, yeah, and now the result is pretty cool because we are
So
we're like
right.
2 weeks away from this book now being released at the time of us filming this. And for anyone who's watching this, I'm going to include a
I,
link so you can actually pick up a copy of Oleg's book if you're interested as well. Okay, so when we first started talking, then you were at a stage where you had some writing down. But what kind of things were you struggling with? Like what were the kind of problems that you were running into?
so that time I was just writing. I had no organization, no structure of my work. I was just writing and just writing. I had chapters and I had like characters, but it was all kind of like a messy. So it was not the main thing. It was no structure. I knew who was my main character. I knew he was doing something. I knew something was happening, but at the same time, like I didn't pay attention because I didn't have any information how to do it. I had no
Right.
idea. So when I started the group, then I start learning. What is world building, what's in a
Yeah.
character, what's a moral story, and then when you put this together, like you put like brick to brick, and then you build after you build a structure, then writing becomes easier
Yeah.
because um, you follow from the structure and you build up from there, and everything it's organized, and it makes perfect sense. Then I learned that there have to be a conflict between main character, you have to be a strong antagonist, and it just worked out for me. And I'm very glad that I joined this group,
Uh,
and that is my dream to finish the first novel
yeah.
become a reality, because
Great.
I had a lot of doubts.
Great, that's super exciting. And no, but you're completely right that you're one of those people where you found yourself, I'm a beginner to this. I don't really know how to go about it. But unlike some other people who just think, oh, I'll just write the book and we'll see what happens. You actually like, no, I'm gonna approach this as a student. Like I'm gonna come at this from the mentality of there are some tools and some skills which I need to learn if I want to create the best book that I can. And I don't want to assume that I can already do it randomly because I might not write the best book that I'm capable of. And so once we actually showed you those things, hey, Oleg, here's how you structure the story. Here's how you build in the themes. Here's how you design and you describe the world. And we gave you all of those tools and those skills. Um, I mean, like you said, the writing from there was so much easier because you actually knew what you were doing.
The feedback, that makes a lot of difference. The constant feedback, coaching and like showing the right direction make a lot of
Yeah.
difference.
We're working now on book two together as well, and already it looks even better than book one. Because I think you just learned so much from the process the first time. And so, Oleg, where should people find this book? It's on Amazon, right? They want to pick up.
I'm gonna publish on Amazon, yes, mostly on Amazon, and I'm gonna check some other sites, but Amazon is primarily because it's easier to launch platform,
Good.
and it will
Okay.
be there available soon. It's coming soon.
And what would you say to anyone who's struggling right now, who is in the place where you were at the beginning? What would you say to someone who's wondering, am I ever going to finish this book? Should I get some help?
I would say you should move from, from wandering just to join a group and get the
Okay.
feedback and get the good people to work with who will help you, and and that's it. And then everything will go from there, and you'll see yourself maybe a year from now, and you'll see difference already. And as told me, anyone can learn the craft. You put the hard work, you get feedback, and you get there.
Appreciate it. Okay. Thank you for talking to me today, Oleg. That was great. I'm really looking forward to picking up the book.
All right, no problem. I am
I'll
so
add it to my
excited.
shelf. Add it to my shelf. Thank you so much.